Okay, so this is Vince with Listings to Leads, and this is our Get Started class. And this is really designed primarily for new users, new clients, to show you some high level stuff of what's going on with Listings to Leads, how to get started, how to set it up, things like that. So first of all, if you're new to us, and I had asked before we started the class, like there are a lot of new people here. If you're new to us, I always like to start off with the resources and kind of what we are and what we do. So we're obviously a real estate advertising platform. We have tools for you if you have listings. We have tools for you if you don't have listings. And there's those tools, many of those tools are designed to get buyers and sellers, listing leads, and referrals. So the trick is the tools work really well as long as you use them. That's really the trick behind Listings to Leads. So if you scroll down Listings to Leads, our homepage, you'll see a lot of stuff here, right? This is just a subset of the kinds of tools that we create automatically for you. We can post some of these to your social media automatically for you. Some of these tools that I'm blasting through are designed to market your listings, and others are designed to help you get more listings. So the reason I'm scrolling down, though, give me a second, I want to stop this. I got too much, forgot to, don't want a bunch of emails hitting us here. At the very bottom of our page is a blog. And I'm going to point it out to you because we do have some exciting things happening with Listings to Leads. So right here it says quick link and it says blog. But there's a couple of themes here that I want you to know and to see. And I'm going to show them to you inside the system. But we've got a Facebook ad generator. It actually runs ads for Facebook and it runs ads for LinkedIn, for Instagram. And you can make these ads in Facebook now in like 20 seconds. And the leads come back with phone numbers. So you're going to see us talking about that a lot. And I'm going to actually show you how to do that on this call today. So that is also, so what you'll see are examples of ads that are getting buyer leads. And then you'll also see ads or examples of people getting seller leads. And that's what I want you to sort of understand. This is a good call here with Kelly Wheeler about lead conversion. So that's a big part of capturing leads, is turning them into business. And that requires some sort of, conversion method. And Kelly has a pretty good discussion there, definitely worth seeing. But you'll go back and forth and you'll keep seeing us talking about Facebook ads and getting buyers and sellers. So that's kind of one thing, and I'm going to show you where that occurs. But here's the other thing that I want you to know is we have a number of tools that are designed to get you more listings. And this one that Pat says, I've got 3 new listings in one building in just a couple months, that's one of our top tools for getting listing leads. This one here, 490 buyer leads with phone numbers. Well, that's the Facebook ad generator. And 490 buyer leads in 26 days of October is an outlier, right? It's an outlier. That's not the normal agent. But the only reason that that's an outlier is because that guy put in about $500 on Facebook in 26 days. And that's the kinds of results you get. When it comes to ads, we'll talk about it a little bit later. It feels like buyer leads cost about $1 a lead on Facebook. It feels like seller leads cost around $5. Now, those numbers are not exact. They're higher, they're lower. It depends on where you are and all kinds of things that I don't really know. But I just know it's about $1 for buyer leads and about $5 for seller leads. Now, this article here, Chris got 5 listings in 3 months. This is, again, kind of like that story I showed you a few minutes ago. There's a tool that's designed to help you get listing leads. And these are the highest listing lead. These are the leads that convert the fastest. And on this same blog page is realtors stuck inside with time on your hands. And I want to point this one out because there's some important things here. I'm going to give this to you right now. But if you're seeing this and it's recorded, this is an important blog post. It talks about how to market your listings, whether you're borrowing listings or whether they're your own listings. Like, what do you do with listings to leads to get the most value out of that? How do you create Facebook ads, right? The 3 easy steps. I'm going to show that to you, but obviously there's a recording there. And then the top 7 seller lead gen tools, I think is really, it's the top tools for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. We have a lot of tools that capture listing leads, but this particular call here, it ranks the tools in terms of their ability, how fast do they actually turn into a contract. So if you want more listings in your business, you definitely need to watch video number 3. If you want to market listings with listings to leads, I suggest you watch number 1. And number 2 here, Facebook ads, I'll tell you in a little bit. Every agent should have uh, a Facebook strategy. They should be running ads on Facebook. If you're in real estate, you should do that. And then right here, number 4, what do you do if you don't have listings? Okay, that's a big factor. Some agents are, you have listings and then you don't have listings. So what do you do? There are actually a lot of tools in listings to leads to help you if you have no listings. So back to the resource story. So that's our blog, right? That's our blog. It's at the bottom of the page. This one here, Realtor Stuck Inside, has all these video links on it. Let me send this to you right now. And I got an important question while I was talking there. And the question was, where can I see the recordings, right? Because we record these. Now, right now, I'm sending this page to you. You should have this. It might pop up on the GoToWebinar thing as like a little gold button, something like that. I recommend that you get that and you open it now and that you save it, because I think that these 4 links on the top, you're all going to want to see for your business if you want your business to grow. So regarding that question of the recordings, this is our other really awesome resource for you. It's called our Mastermind Group. It's a private group. Use a support team. There's a support page in your account to get access to this. You can't actually see it on Facebook unless you're in it, right? And so you got to get in it, and there's a link in when you sign up, and and the support team can help you. But once you get in here, there's a magnifying glass over here on the right. And if you take that magnifying glass and you type in the words recorded webinar, guess what? You're going to see all of our recorded webinars. And actually, this webinar on the top here that says Facebook strategy, this is I'm going to kind of give you my quick version of that. But that really goes into depth about what kind of monthly consistent ad strategy and budget you should have. I think you should definitely watch that. If you're not really comfortable or familiar with Facebook, let me just stress it for you right now. You should have a strategy in 2021. Otherwise, you're just leaving money on the table in your own business. Okay, there's a lot of money there. Basically, there are a lot of buyers there, and there are a lot of sellers there. How you get it is actually covered on that call. How you get those people. So I'm logged into the account now, and there is what we call a wizard, right? And I recommend you go through these green buttons. It'll complete your profile, it'll sweep in your listings. If you don't have listings, you can use this thing over here on the right called My Farm Dominator to pull listings in. And then once you've got either your listings or your bar listings, we're going to help you create an ad on Facebook. We're going to help you create a home value ad. We're going to turn on auto posting into your social media, so that when you pull listings in, or if you update them to open house, or you say they're sold, we're going to auto post to your social media for you. We're going to generate a home value landing page, and then we're going to share that to your social media for you. That all happens right on this page right here. So I would definitely take a few minutes and go through that and set that up. So once you've done that, you kind of do that one time, you don't have to do that again. There are kind of 3 major areas that I want you to think about for listings to leads. One is listings, and with this wizard here, ideally we pulled your listings in. If we can't pull them in because we can't see them in our national data feed, there is a button right here that says add listing. and you can drop in the zip code. Grab listing right here allows you to drop in the zip code and the MLS ID, and we'll pull in the listing for you. And then your listings are sitting here, right, on this list. And then there's a lot to do. I'm going to show you what to do with that in a minute, but I just want to high level give you an idea of what's here. There's a section also called landing pages. And landing pages, these are simple 1 or 2 page websites, right? Here's one. We create these automatically for you for new construction. And so the concept is there is some sort of information that people want. This one is about new construction. And if they want it, they just got to click that green button that says send more information. You're going to get their contact information. We're going to email it to you. You can also, we'll also be able to send it to your CRM. But basically, that's how they start getting information. Here's one we create for you on down payer assistance, right? And the down payer assistance has, you can customize these. It comes in with a video, but you can take the video out if you want. You can put your own picture. Again, you can change it to first-time home buyers or whatever you want. And then free home values. And the free home values one, what is your home worth? It's, it's one of those things that agents feel like this is what I got to have, and this is what I got to run a Facebook ad on. That's the top thing. That's the top way to get listing leads. And that is not the top way to get listing leads. That's actually the bottom way of getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. You remember that video I was telling you about, the top 7 seller lead gen tools? You'll find this at the bottom of that list. But it is there, and I think it's important, and you should be running an ad with that, maybe once a month. And I'll show you later on why it's just not super effective anymore. It's just more because of changes on Facebook. But I want to also show you that you can create your own landing pages right here, right? And some that I think are really important are custom buyer landing pages, custom seller landing pages. What if you have a cool report for sellers or for buyers that you want to give away, but gather contact information in exchange? That's what those things are for. And you can create all these other custom pages, and that's great, because once you've got those created, and you can see I've got some home valuation landing pages for all of my major areas. Most of you are developing multiple farms, right? Farm areas, multiple neighborhoods where you're building your business. You need a home valuation landing page for every one of those if you want listings in it, right? So that's the landing page section there. And the other one I want to point out are ads right here on the left. And this is, it says ads new. And this is where you generate Facebook ads. And I'm going to show you, we'll kind of dive into this a little bit deeper in a couple minutes. But you can create listing ads. You can create landing page ads, just like the landing page I just showed you. You would create ads and drive, thousands of people will see them. You can collect dozens of leads with that. And then we've got this PDF report ad thing, which is incredibly awesome. I'm going to dive into that in a little bit here. But this is the ad section. Like I said, there's landing pages and there's listings. Before we get into all that, I want to get into the profile, because there are a couple of important things that you should do. Now, in the beginning, I told you should go through the wizard and set up your social media auto posting. You can also set it up right here. You can connect, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. Even if you don't use those platforms, you should go set up an account and you should connect it right here. Because the way that we're auto posting, and I'll show you in a minute, we use hashtags. And this means that even if you have 3 friends on Twitter, there are many people following house hunting and real estate on Twitter, and many people are going to notice your posts. I'll show it to you in a minute. But another important thing on the profile is CRM integration. And if you don't have a CRM and you intend to work with us, you're going to need a CRM, because you're going to wind up with hundreds of leads. And if you think that leads convert with one contact, that's really not realistic. It takes multiple contacts, and you need a CRM to help you do that, because it automates that, right? So, hey, what? Wow. So we've got APIs here: Boomtown, Contractually, Follow Up Boss, Jar Jar Media, Lion Desk, Real Geeks, Wise Agent. And if your CRM is not on this list on the left, your CRM probably has given you a unique email address. like your name at Follow Up Boss, right? And get that from your CRM provider and put it here and save it up here. And then we'll send all those leads to that, and that'll work for you. There's also here, there's an affiliate program if you're training other agents or you've got a large group that kind of share information. You can kind of create your own. If you got a PayPal account, you can create your own affiliate link, and then they get a 21-day free trial instead of a 14-day free trial, like our website, and you get 15% recurring on anybody who's paying. So that's kind of cool. You can put your social media links here, but this is more like if they see a flyer and it's like join me on Facebook. That's what this is here. Follow-ups, that's going to be on automatically. The only thing I would tell you is you can connect your YouTube here. And I would recommend that if you use Gmail, you actually have your own YouTube channel. And we auto-generate virtual tours for all your listings, and we're going to put them on YouTube for you. So it'd be smart to just connect that right there. So that's kind of some of the profile stuff that you need to think about. So let's get back to the listings, right? We were talking about that earlier. And like I said, your listing should auto sweep in, or you can add a listing here, and you can grab it if it's your own listing. You can even grab it if it's somebody else's. You would just want to deselect this box here. And that happens for a lot of agents. If you're sitting on somebody's open house, pull the listing. If you're going to sit on somebody's open house, by all means, pull that listing in days, a week in advance if you can, and get these marketing tools out there. I'll show you what they're going to look like in a second. Maybe if you want, you can manually create a FSBO. You can go talk to a FSBO and take a couple pictures and put it in here and give those marketing tools to them. And sometimes you can get a dialogue of, you can get paid by bringing a buyer to them, right? And so now you got a great marketing platform that you can use to do that. One other thing about listings to leads that you should know is that we ask that you take advantage of your listings at multiple statuses. You see, I've got here some that are active, some that are under contract, some that are sold. I'm going to change this one right here. Anytime you see a pencil on the page, it means you can edit it, right? And so I want to, while we're talking, I want to just put in an open house thing right here, right? And that's going to be, let me set this open house out. I'm going to set it in the future so I don't have to do it too much. But that's how you save an open house. And when you do that, you're going to find that you're going to get an email with about, I think it's about 8 different tools. I'm going to show you some of those tools right now. The tools will obviously be sitting inside of our system, but we also email them to you so that you can just take advantage of them from your smartphone or from, wherever you're working, accessing your email. And the thing about the open house marketing is that, yes, it's mobile optimized. Yes, it's designed to get listings, but also it's designed to get sellers. And that gets into a big kind of question that you're not asking, but I'm pretty sure some of you are thinking is, how do I get listings with these guys? Because all over the country, what's the story? It's something like, yeah, inventory is down 90%, right? Like I was in LA, it was down 90% year over year. I just, it's crazy. And that's happening if you put something on the market, it's in contract in 4 days and all that nonsense, right? Multiple offers, there's just no inventory. So somebody came in here and asked a question that I want to present to you. Who here generates more than 2 listings every month from listings to leads? And they asked this in the Mastermind Group. And one of our clients came in, a lot of clients obviously jumped in and said, yeah, I'm getting all kinds of listings and this and that. But I want to point something out because this is a really true statement. This guy says, we average 2 listings from each marketed listing, all from L to L tools. Facebook ads, mailers, and open houses, trying to get that number to above 3 this year. So every time they sell a home, he's intending on getting 3 new listings. Obviously, he can sell the home. We have great tools to help him get buyers. But where on earth have you ever heard that you can market your listing and get 2 or 3 more listings? Frankly, I have not heard that any other place in this company. But how does that happen? Well, I just saved an open house. And let me show you the tools that that guy uses and that you should be using on every one of your listings at every status. It's called Your Social Media, Seller Social Media, the e-flyer for your database, and underprint marketing as a nearby homeowner letter. There are more tools, right? You could be, if you're a big blogger, there's some blog tools, and yeah, those blog tools capture leads. If you like Craigslist, you can post to Craigslist, those capture leads. If you want to use our text IVR, we can, people can punch in codes or dial 800 and hit a code, and you can do that too. And then we get you to Instagram, and we can get you to YouTube. There's all that stuff, but these are really the heavy hitters, and I'm going to show you that these tools are great for capturing leads. So let's go look at Your Social Media. This is called a listing landing page, and it's designed to market the home and capture leads, right? So this is time sensitive, so there's that Mission Impossible ticking time bomb thing on the left. But if you want more information on this home, you got to click this button, continue with Facebook. So let's click it and see what happens. The page flips around and says, thank you. You, the agent, have their name and email. And I, the consumer, I'm now on a single property website. Now, I don't know why that video is there. I think I was testing something out. But all the information on the home, all the photos, the schools, the maps, and all this stuff, it's all right there. So you're giving away the information on the home, but you're gathering contact information of people who are interested in this property. Okay. So I see a question here, so let's look at that. I missed the first part. Is there a recording? Yes, Jim. The recording will be in our mastermind group. This is our mastermind group, and there's a magnifying glass right there that you can just type in the words recorded webinar. Okay. So back to what we were talking about. That tool is awesome for getting buyers. You'll see a section up here, it says auto posted. Well, what does that mean? That means that you as an agent, you don't even have to share this to social media. We'll do it for you. So let's look at that. This is as it appears on LinkedIn. And I mentioned earlier that even if you don't use Twitter or LinkedIn, you should go set up an account. So I'm going to show you why right now. This right here that's coming up is what pops up on LinkedIn. Okay. And this is what it looks like on Facebook and what it looks like on Twitter. And you'll notice that there's some emojis, there's some language, and there's some hashtags. These hashtags are followed by thousands of people around the country, like real estate, house hunting, realtors, all kinds of things like that, the city. So even if you have 3 friends on Twitter, far more people are going to see this. And more important than that, if somebody clicks on it, there's going to be some sort of page to capture their information, right? We just saw how this worked a minute ago. But that's what our social media auto posting is. And I mentioned to you, you can set that up on your profile, and you can also set that up on the wizard. So that's something that we do automatically for you. Just set it up. Let's go down here to print marketing. We'll kind of jump down the list. And I want to cover this one because the nearby homeowner letter is our #1 tool, #1 for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay. So there are a lot of tools and listings to leads that get listing leads, but this is the one that those leads turn into contracts the fastest. So let's look at that. There are 2 versions. I'm going to pick the original one. Like I said, if there's a pencil, you can edit the message, but I'm just going to download it for now. And a lot of people just download it. It works just fine in this way. So you're downloading the PDF, you open it up. You'll need to print this. Okay, this is a print tool. And then after that, you're gonna need to get it in your market, right? So this says, hey, we're having an open house. I'm selling a home in your neighborhood. If you're interested in it, take this physical piece of paper and go to your computer and go find out about it there. And you can count on it. There's going to be a tool to capture a buyer lead and send it to you. But many of our tools have this message. When this home is sold, it will affect your home value, right? And that's a big deal because you're giving this to somebody in a neighborhood saying, I'm selling a home in your neighborhood, and that's going to affect your home value. Go right here to get your free home value, right? And what happens if they take this piece of paper to their computer, or they land on this page, and this will give them a home value. Now, the thing about this is, a lot of people think this is the page that you got to go take and put on Facebook and have everybody to do that. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not. It is something that you should do, but it's not the top way. If you ran an ad on this, for instance, you might get 10 or 12 ads, maybe 20 leads rather. And that would be very cool to get 10 or 20 leads on home value. But you'd find that they take a long time to convert. If you drive people to the same landing page with this, you might get 5 or 10 leads. You're not going to get as many leads because you're getting it right into a particular neighborhood. But the people who open that, if it's in an envelope, and take it to their computer in that neighborhood, they're seriously interested. And when they type this in, and that is a pretty highly qualified lead, and that's why these things convert faster, right? So I'll show you a little bit more about that in a second. Who provides the home value? We have a platform called Onboard Infometrics, and that's who does it. The only downside about Onboard Infometrics is we used to also have Zillow, the Zillow estimate, but Zillow changed their business, and so you can't do that anymore. The upside for Zillow, even though agents don't like the accuracy, is that it was nationwide. It's kind of a nationwide database. They're just crunching numbers and throwing it out. But on Onboard Infometrics, they're more of like they go physically into records, right? County records and things like that. And not every county and every MLS plays the same way. So you might not be represented in your area. So it's worth testing that before you lob that page out there to make sure it's working in your market. So that's the letter. You download it, you print it, and you get it out in the market. So let me show you a couple things here to just further that, because that's a tool that I definitely want all of you to use if you want listings. When you finally get into the Mastermind Group, I recommend that you look up this guy's name, Chris. Chris came in last summer in the middle of COVID, in the middle of that horrible inventory crunch, and showed us pictures of what he's doing, like dropping off letters and stuff. But he came in and said, hey, I got 5 listings in my own neighborhood in 3 months using your letter, right? And now he's got a cool video here too. And he said, I put this video and I run ads on it, and that's cool. But that's actually not what's creating all the listings. What's creating all the listings is this little message right here. He says, I send out letters every other week to all my neighbors who have owned their homes for 5 years or more. So that's important to know. Somewhere he bought a list. And there are companies out there that do that, right? That'll sell you a list of people that have equity in their homes, right? 5 years or more. Once they opt in on the neighborhood valuation landing page, I consistently contact them every week, right? So he mails this letter out every 2 weeks to people who have owned their homes for 5 years. And when they opt in down here on that home value piece, he hits them up every 2 weeks or every week with phone calls, bomb messages, letters via mail, and letters left at the door. And that is how he pulled out 5 listings in 3 months in the middle of a inventory crush and a COVID lockdowns, right? So this has been working for years, right? And I'm going to just show you. I mean, that has been working for us for years. It's not something that most agents, probably you guys right now, are waiting for me to tell you the golden language for a Facebook ad, because everybody thinks, oh, I got to run that home value pages. Even though I could tell you that story 5 times today, you'll get off this call and think, I need to run a Facebook ad to get listing leads. I'm showing this to you because this lady came in our group last month, and pretty much every month said, every time I mail this letter out, I get more listings, right? And what I want to point out is just the strange color of this, right? And that's because as I have this discussion, and if you do believe that you need to start applying this to your business, the next thing will be, well, how do I do it painlessly, right? Least time, least amount of time, least amount of money. And that gets you into that story of bulk mailers. And there are a couple people, Alicia is one of those that know you need to have your stuff look custom and kind of homemade. Because if a bulk mailer looks like junk mail, it's not going to get opened. And if it doesn't get opened, nobody's going to know to go to that page right there and become a listing lead. So I just want you to kind of think about that. You certainly want to be efficient with time and money, but you want people to open this thing as well. This lady said right here, like, I got the third listing in 6 months in the same subdivision. Listings Leads works if you work it. Let me tell you about that subdivision. There are 50 homes in it, 50, right? And she pulled out 3 listings in 6 months in that one little subdivision of 50 homes. So that's a great tool to use. Now, it's our #1 tool if you want listing leads. That's all I can tell you. So it's under print marketing. It's a nearby homeowner letter, and download it, use it. Even people door knock that. There's even a story in the Mastermind Group of a lady who took that letter just like this and door knocked in her neighborhood for 200 homes and got 7 listings. No, took her 7 hours to door knock 200 homes and got 4 listings. Okay, that's awesome. That is a day's work and a lot of walking, and you walk and you're done with 4 listings. That's in the Cheyenne Lake area, which I don't even know where that is, but that's where that happened, right? So anyway, that's kind of the story of that tool there. It's a nearby homeowner letter. Now we also have something, the e-flyer for your database. And if you're an agent who has your own CRM already, and you've got hundreds or thousands of leads sitting in there, copy this, click copy code, go in there and do a blast. Go use a MailChimp, blast this to your leads. It's the digital version of the letter I just showed you. It says, I got an open house. You can click on that picture, click on that link, and you're going to go over there and become a buyer lead. But then it says when a home is sold, it's going to affect your home value, right? And go here and get your free home value. So that's kind of the story in an e-flyer. We're talking about a home, but we always know, let's see if I can get to this real quickly. We know that people who are looking at homes are also looking at, they own a home, right? I mean, that you got to kind of ask yourself, if somebody's going to sell their home, if somebody wakes up today in the United States and wants to sell their home, what do you think they do? You think they just pick up the phone book and start calling random realtors? Do you think they go to the internet and start looking for all that? No, they don't. They don't. They start researching on the internet for months and months, for a while before they ever want to talk to somebody like you. They want to know what's going on. So if you're marketing your homes with our stuff, they might be looking at your homes. And the cool thing about our stuff, you noticed on the e-flyer I just showed you, and on the print flyer to talk about our open house, that it's actually in right there, right up front. It's go here and get, that's going to affect your home value. So get your free home value. Notice this is the single property website for the same property. We have a virtual tour for the same property, and it always has these graphics to get home values. Right inside, this is designed to market an open house. There's a massive footer at the bottom of this page to get you listing leads. You'll also notice, watch this, when this page pops up, follow this home, this automatically pops up. Now notice when I click continue to Facebook, that's going to get my name and email. But the next thing it says is, do you own a home? And if I say yes, it's going to say, do you need to sell a home? Maybe yes, maybe no. You're going to get that information, right? A lot of people who are looking around at homes own homes. You just don't know it. What if you already had an open house? Can the verbiage be changed? Yes, Jonathan, you don't. Yeah, most homes change from open house, right? They go pending or they go under contract, and you just go right to your listings page and you can change that right here. Notice there's an in contract, You might want to say it's under deposit or active contingent or pending or whatever. And then when it's sold, definitely use it as sold, right? So I'm going to show you, speaking of that, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go back to my open house, and I'm going to show you the last tool that you need to be using when you're marketing a home. And that's the seller social media. And this is one, it's a little bit complicated. When you get the automated email from us, frankly, I think it's confusing. I just think it's not easy for you to understand. And so just when you see when you see a letter from us and it starts talking about Sally Seller and social media, take a moment to use that tool. This is what the tool looks like, and it's in your email, so it looks like this. And it's telling you to copy this and give it to your client, okay? So in an email, you can just forward it and wipe everything out and just give them this information that I'm copying, and then call your client, like email it to your client and tell them, hey, would you put that over on your Facebook? Like call them for 5 seconds and say, I know you get 100 emails a day. Would you take the message I just emailed you and copy it and paste it on your wall, right? Paste it on your page, because we've got in the MLS, we're jumping up and down everywhere. But the more people that see your home, the more offers we're going to get, the more money we're going to get for you, right? So this is what it looks like. This is an open house, right? And it might be confusing because my name is up here, Vincent Meza, and it's talking about me, Vincent Meza. This is going to be your client talking about you at your office, saying that we're having an open house and you're at your office are doing a lot of marketing. We expect great turnout, right? So if you click on that, you can imagine there's a tool to capture a lead and give it to you, right? But really the importance of this is that your clients are sharing with their friends and family that you are their realtor, right? Most of the time on Facebook, everybody's sharing pictures of their family, their grandkids, their pets, the food they eat. But in this case, they can say, hey, our homes are sale and you are the professional selling it, right? This is not a paid ad. It just sits there. It never goes away until they decide to one day take it down. And as that question came in about, hey, I'm no longer open house, it's now pending. And I said, yeah, you can market your homes at different statuses. They actually kind of started to call it, you should always market at multiple statuses. Let me show you what the seller's tool looks like when the property is sold, okay? So the seller, you sell the property, probably the homeowner's pretty happy, right? If you toggle that status to move it over to sold, we're gonna email this to you. And we're going to tell you, hey, send this over to Sally Seller and do whatever it says. And I know it's hard. Yeah, I know it's like something that our clients just they're not comfortable with. But our clients who use it, they get listing leads out of nowhere, and they don't know how, and they're pretty high quality listing leads, right? Let's see. I think I copied too much. Let's see here, please. Yeah, so we'll wipe this out. And we'll do that. So obviously you would only want to send them what they need. So let me post this. And what it says is our home is just sold and we want to recommend you at your office for doing an excellent job. And here's your phone number and email for all my friends and family and colleagues to see. Now, if one of their friends or family or colleagues decides to click on this, well, it's going to take them to the single property website. And I want to point out something to you. We looked at a single property website earlier and it had a ticking time clock thing, right? Because it was open house and that's time sensitive. When our homes go to pending, under contract, continuing, or sold, later stage basically, we're not looking for buyers now. We're looking for sellers. So it's offering a free home value right then. So it's a great way to get listing leads from a tool that your client put up there and said that you were excellent and here's your name and phone number. These are high quality listing leads basically. We create those tools automatically and we email them to you. I really suggest you get them to your homeowners and you call them for 5 seconds and say, hey, please copy that I sent to you and get it out there. That's how you market listings with listings to leads, everybody. Now, I mentioned earlier the landing page section here, right? I mentioned that you can create your own custom landing pages, and you can customize these things. You can put video in them. You can change the verbiage on the box. You can add a timer like you've got here. But landing pages are really good. And I want to explain this because sometimes people do things, realtors do things that sound good but are not effective. And let me tell you one of those things that are not effective. This is a custom buyer landing page, basically. But this one is talking about a development, right? A particular thing that's coming online, new development, new construction. But a lot of people feel like, I want buyers. Where am I? I'm in Arizona right now for a conference, and I'm in Phoenix. I think I'm in South Phoenix. So agents feel like I want to create a landing page that says Phoenix homes for sale. Sign up for a free list of Phoenix homes. Now, you guys are realtors, so I know that you know how to find listings. But you know what? I think most of the American public know that if they want to look at listings for sale in Phoenix, they can go right to the internet and find that list themselves, like immediately in 5 seconds. It probably won't be your website, but they'll find it. So signing up for a static page that's not super compelling is not going to work. Agents still do that and think that they can run an ad, run people to that, and that's not the way to get listing leads. It's just not. But when you're talking about a niche, a unique kind of property, like a golf course property, right? If there are homes sold on a golf course, those are sort of coveted and they're unique. They're not just the broad market. If you have horse properties, if you have acreage properties, or you have waterfront properties, these are niche areas, or maybe a particular neighborhood, right? Like a super small neighborhood where you can get exact, that might work. But if you want to get buyer leads, the number one way is to go to this ads tab here inside listings to leads and get a listing in your account and create a listing ad. Now, as I showed this to you earlier, you can create listing ads, you can create landing page ads, and you can create PDF report ads, okay? And you should be doing, excuse me, all three of these things. When you come here the first time, it will not look all cool like this. There's going to be a big blue button that says connect to Facebook. And beneath that button is a little 2-minute video. I would watch the video. It shows you what's going to happen when you click the big blue button. There's a few steps that you got to do, that you got to take, and that connects your Facebook ad account. And so every ad that you run will be sponsored by your business page, and any ad that you run will be charged to your credit card that's on your business page, right? So once you've done that, these 3 buttons are going to appear: create listing ad, create landing page ad, and create PDF report ad. So let's go here to listing ad, and let's go run an ad. You always want to leave this on lead ads. Just leave it there. Always run them there if you want phone numbers. Remember, I set up that open house earlier, so let's just go choose that and click create an ad. All the listings in your account will be in that drop down. And there's a 3-step quick publish deal here, right? So there are 3 things. Create the form, and all you got to do here is create it here. Click it down here. The form is going to look like this: full name, email, and phone number. This form is Facebook, and it's pre-populated. That's why it's so crazy powerful. We all have our name, phone number, and email in Facebook, and they are pre-populating it when they respond to the ad. Okay. The next thing you do is you type in the location, right? And so this home is in Berkeley, so I'm going to say it's in Berkeley, California. I'm not sure where you are, but you might want to expand your radius if people are used to driving. If you're in more rural areas, driving 30 miles is not a big problem. People do it a lot. Driving 30 miles in rush hour traffic in the Bay Area, you kind of want to kill yourself. So you may not want to expand that radius there. But, there are other things to think of. I live in a town called Lafayette, and Lafayette is about 20 miles outside of San Francisco. And a lot of people are tired of San Francisco, want to get out of there. So if you got a home for sale, you might want to have that radius go pretty far so that everybody in San Francisco sees it. I was talking to somebody up in the DC area who had this like super awesome home, high end luxury in a neighborhood that she said is like one of the most special neighborhoods, and everybody wants to see this home. And I said, well then, if that's the case, you need to expand your radius. If you want a lot of people to know that you're dealing with that kind of property, expand the radius and also increase the budget. Now, earlier I said, and I know some of you got on here late, that buyer leads cost about $1 a lead. It could be as low as 33 cents. It could go as high as $2 or more. But on average, we've seen it be about $1 a lead on the buyer side. So that's all you do. Create the form, set your location, and click publish. If you want to change your budget, right? There are other things you can do. You don't need to do it, but if I go here and I say this is where you choose your Facebook and your Instagram page, over here it says open house in Berkeley. It's the same language here on the left. But what if there's something about this home that is not showing on this ad that you think is important, right? If I type in great schools on the left, it shows up here on the right. You might have some information about this home that you want to be sharing that we're not seeing and picking up, and that's how you do that. You can customize things as you go further down, but honestly, it's just not even necessary. This is just a great way. Fast, 20 seconds, your leads come back with phone numbers, right? I had showed you earlier that you create landing pages, and when you do create landing pages, you can run ads on those. Here's my new construction landing page. Same process. You're going to notice that it looks very different. The language is different. When I'm showing you this, it's saying sponsored by Listings to Leads. That's going to be sponsored by your business page, okay? Because I mentioned earlier, that's the first step is connecting your business page. There's also this here, I should point out, it says terms of service. When you come here the first time, it's going to tell you to accept those and click the button and check the box, and you only need to do that one time. There's also some other kinds of ads, and these are new and really, really powerful. There's a green button that says create PDF report ads. There are 50 reports in here, 25 for buyers and 25 for sellers. So you got to ask yourself, who do you want to talk to, right? Do you want to talk to more buyers or more sellers? And if you say sellers, we'll use any of these. I'm going to just click this one over here on the top left, 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home, right? Unique graphics each time. What do you got to do? Create the form, type in the location, and hit your budget, right? Publish. These are awesome. You can use them as follow-up after you've captured the lead, or they're just great. A lot of people just like to run these reports because, like I said earlier, let me show you this landing page ad. And let me explain why so this is a home value ad, lead ads. Let's create the ad. This is one of the things, you see this ad over here, what is your home worth, right? This is something that agents and coaches and all the internet gurus have been talking about for at least 5 years. And if you had listened to us 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, we'd have been jumping up and down saying the exact same thing. But things have changed at Facebook. And that we're not saying that this is the top way anymore, because it's not. And I'm going to explain to you the reasons why. This is a super generic home value ad, right? So you could sort of go generic, your home value has changed. But when you're selling a home, you want the person who is a specialist, especially in your neighborhood, right, in your area. I live in Lafayette, California, and I'm in a big county. So I'm going to click my Lafayette landing page. I'm in a big county called Contra Costa County, right? So if I created a generic landing page and just shot it out everywhere, I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you know, right? So if I'm selling a home, I want the most amount of money. I want to know that you know my neighborhood, right? That's a big deal. That's obvious to you, right? So when you're shooting an ad out, and it says, hey, home sales in Lafayette are in and your home value has changed, you could add some stats there, right? You could add a little bit of language to make that a little bit more like, 50 homes sold, the high was 700 grand or something like that, right? And even if you made that sharper language, more compelling language, here's a big problem. You see this radius? Had we been talking 3 years ago, I could tell you, hey, you could have only the people who live in Lafayette, California will see this ad. I cannot say that today anymore because that's not going to happen. It's going to hit Lafayette and it's going to hit all the other towns around for 15 miles, right? So people living in literally about 10 different cities are going to see what is my Lafayette home worth now? Now, if they're curious about the ad, right? If they're curious, they're like, I want to know my home value. And I wonder what that is, right? And then they click on the ad. Let's see if I can get us back there. If they click on the ad, sorry guys, give me a second. A little bit lost. Oh yeah, I guess I'm here. Let me see if I can get there another way. I want to show you both things at once. If I click on the ad, it's going to take me right, it's only going to be talking about that landing page, which is Lafayette. So if I clicked it and I lived in the town over, which is Pleasant Hill, and I own a home in Pleasant Hill, and then I clicked on the ad, it basically, it's only going to be talking about Lafayette, right? And then they're like, oh, that's not going to help me because I live in Pleasant Hill, right? There's another town called Walnut Creek, 5 minutes the other direction. Another town called Orinda, Moraga, Alamo, Danville. It just keeps going, right? And if they're curious and then they land here and it says Lafayette, they're probably not going to move any further, right? But the bummer for you is that they chewed up 5 of your dollars. That click costs you about $5 for seller home leads. And they just left because it didn't work. And that's a big problem. That's a big problem is you cannot target with Facebook anymore. And the other big problem is people have been running those kinds of ads for years. So they're just not as effective. I mean, they're just not effective. I've shown you the number one most effective tool for getting listing leads. I also sent you a link to a video of our top 7 tools for listing leads. I recommend that you watch that video so that you start applying those to your business. They're going to generate a lot of listings for you. So guys, that's kind of that's the story for today. Listings, landing pages, Facebook ads, our mastermind group, our blogs. These are all going to help your business grow. Do you have any questions for me? I'll also say this. There's a support team at the bottom left, and they're awesome. They answer questions very quickly. If you need a quick answer, put it in this box right here. The whole team sees it. So I don't see any questions, so I'll repeat this. This call has been recorded and it's going to be in the mastermind group later this afternoon. And when you get in the mastermind group, you can use the support team to get into the mastermind group. Use this magnifying glass if you want to see recorded webinars, or you can just scroll down. I mean, the support team is going to put this in a couple of hours. This is where Scott and I share a lot of what's happening, a lot of the new technology, but we also, like right here, we put our recorded webinars, right? So make sure and check them out. And if you're new to us, check out a few of the most recent ones because we're always adding new tools and you want to stay on top of what's going on. So I do see a question here. Let's see what that is. Okay, Rhonda, thanks a lot. Yeah, and everybody, if you have questions and you didn't get them answered here, just go to our support team. They're great. Get in the mastermind group. Check out the most recent recordings. And like I said at the beginning of the call, use the tools. They work. We got so many examples of getting buyer leads and seller leads. But we only get those examples from the people who are using the tools. So get them in your business. They're going to help you grow. Thanks so much, everybody. Keep safe. Talk to you soon.